start when it comes to the programming part of it. So that's a good thing. Telling that, I'll get into the details. Before that,
Sure,
I'll
sure,
introduce myself. So I'm
sure,
Thiruvenkatam, and sorry, Chintan, you
sure.
had something?
No, no, no. Go ahead. Sorry.
So I'm Thiruvenkatam, and I had over 13 years of experience across various domains, ranging from BFSI, automotive manufacturing, the logistics supply chain, and healthcare industries. So across these domains, I worked on multiple projects that has the applications of data science, ranging from automation perspective and also from a data science perspective, just the analytics perspectives of it. And when it comes to the academics of it, I am a postgraduate in artificial intelligence and machine learning, and certified Lean Six Sigma black belt from ASQ, American Society for Quality, and I'm a PMP Prince 2 and PSM certified. So on the clients that I had worked, so I have worked on many of Fortune 1000 clients on end-to-end assignments. When I say end-to-end assignments, like we had explained, it starts from the initial assessment, which is the consulting exercises, to the final delivery of it. And there are the great names there like Michelin Tires, Maersk, HCA, and many other companies there.
Sure.
So pretty much this is the experience on a high level about me. So we'll get into the data science details. So first thing on data science, what is data science? I know there's a lot of fuss going on, and we always use a lot of words like data science, AI, machine learning, and all these things pretty much interchangeably in all the convenient places. So actually, to give a clarity on what is data science all about is, data science is a combination of programming, statistics, and business skills, which we use to get the insights using all these algorithm tools and statistics, get the insights from the data that we have out of the business. So in simple words, what you can say is data science is like how you are getting these data right out of the in business. Let's say that we are running a logistic business like Flipkart. So Flipkart has a logistic business. It has lots of transfers here and there across the different parts of the country. So how are we going to fetch that information in a much more readable format? So that data extraction, data preparation, and sorry, I changed the slides. Data extraction, data preparation, and how you are going to apply all these algorithms to it to get a business insights. So to be simple, you can say that it's a combination of three different skill sets where I would say you would need a 40 percentage of domain expertise, 40 percentage statistical knowledge, and close to 20 percentage programming knowledge. Why I'm giving a very low for programming knowledge is because, as you know, these days things have become very democratized, and you have lots and lots of tools like Data Robot, Alteryx, and all the other cloud ML learning systems like Azure, AWS, where things have become pretty much easier that you don't have to do any kind of coding. It's just a menu driven or a GUI kind of approach. You can upload things and get the results. All you need to know is statistics and the business understanding to make sense out of it.
Can I ask you a question here, Thiru, if you don't mind? In the last, when you explain about the percentage.
Oh yeah.
Is it okay to ask a question now?
Yeah, you can. Do we have anyone else on the call? Karthik?
Yeah, Thiru. What is the question?
Do we have anyone else in the call?
No, the other person is stuck with something, I guess. So you want us to share the recording once the demo is over. I will share the recording with you.
Sure.
Okay.
Sure, Chintan, you're going to question.
So my question here, when you said business was 40%, the reason I want to go little deeper here, because right now when I'm working as a BA here, and there's an expectation for me to interact with business and I need to know that business. What happens is, just trying to relate that to the BA area of our software development life cycle. I'm not supposed to know the detail about the business, but I'm supposed to understand that business. So whatever they share, I can relate to it, and then I can pass on that understanding to my software development person so that he can do the technical development accordingly. So basically, I might say that my business context is more important in my SDLC lifecycle as a BA. Now translating that to in the data science area, where you said that business is 40%. Can you elaborate what do you mean by that 40%? What level of understanding is required?
Okay, so
Is
this
it
is exactly what the BA's understanding is, which is all you need is a contextual understanding about the business and making sense of what is presented in front of you rather
okay?
than knowing the nitty-gritty of the business, which is like how to
Okay,
do it.
because there is a business person who can always dwell you in the nitty gritty of it, but only able to relate to it, contextualize it, and take it forward is what I understand in BA, and you are somewhere suggesting that in data science also it's similar, right?
Yes, yes, and the important thing over here is yes, business persons know the business nitty gritty and everything, but the way the business is seen and we generalizing few things in the business, or be it as it in a very different way than how someone who is working with the same process for the 20 years might be doing. So this is how
Okay.
you are generalizing something you are seeing over there and making sense out of it.
Sorry, I didn't. I missed your point here. Can you re-elaborate or re-clarify your
Like
point
say
here?
being a BA, what we look at is say what are the different activities that is going on in the business, and we would make much more contextual sense of it when I say it. Okay, these have these kind of relationships between each other, and this will have impact on this, and it will be like a very very high level or more of you can formulate a relationship between the businesses, the importances and everything. Whereas the person who has been more than 20 years or something working on the system would be more focused on the nitty gritties, challenges. This paradoxical statement like more experience. They are more into the process, more into the problems, and not looking at it in a more contextual or a more much.
Okay, they are into more into that particular process or that area, and
Exactly.
many times you have to pull them out to see the bigger
Exactly.
picture.
That's what it is. That's what it is. So that's something
But
that
I'm
the
trying.
B.
The reason I'm trying, I'm my questions where I'm coming from is because I'm looking at transition. So I'm just trying to see that when you said business 40%, I'm trying to understand that whether it's my exact fit right away, or do I have to upskill that in my domain area also. So when you said programming 20%,
Okay,
obviously I
I'll
have
do
to
one thing.
upskill that.
We do have the next slides coming on. I'll give you exactly the point over there why I
Sure,
said you
no
need
problem.
point of
No
40%.
problem. Sorry to bother, but yeah, we can continue.
Sure. Yeah. Saying that, we will move on to the machine learning. Again, machine learning is another most commonly used terms, along with and interchangeably with the data science. So the primary difference with the machine learning and data science would be it's a part of the data science still. So machine learning is much to do with the algorithms, which is we applying the algorithms on the already available extracted structured data for all practical reasons and getting the sense out of it or getting the predictives out of it. So what we will train the ML algorithms. We do have different algorithms, say, ranging from a simple KNN logistic regression to all extreme gradient boosting random forest. There are dozens of algorithms. These algorithms would be used to predict and make the business sense of it. So that is what done in the machine learning, which you can still relate as a part of data science. So moving on to the third one, which is artificial intelligence. This again is another term which has been used, artificial intelligence. So before I getting into the detail of artificial intelligence, we'll first see that artificial intelligence is not something that has just been introduced, say, a week back or let's say just 1 or 2 years back. It has been there ever since almost 6-7 decades. So, but the difference is maybe it is only becoming very democratic these days that we are able to see it. Everyone is able to see it and use it in their everybody's life, like smart speakers and a lot of apps in your smartphones, your smart bands, smart wears, and everything. So to give you a brief on the artificial intelligence, to start with, 1950 was the first thing when they have come up with something called a Turing test. So Turing test is something like these days what we call a chatbot. So that was the first time when they had looked at developing a chatbot, meaning the Turing test is nothing but they would have an automated programming which could chat with human being like any other human being. This test is to find out, let's say I am the person, I'll have 5 people to chat with me, and I'll have to find out of those 5, which one is a bot. And can you imagine this has been done in 1950s? But of course, during that time, whatever we had, these programs were more trying to trick the human brain rather than trying to mimic what the human is doing. When I say like trick the human brain, these chatbots that they use those days would be more like reflecting your own question to yourself. Like if I'm asking something and it will say, okay, I could understand. Like I'm asking, okay, what's the weather today in Chennai? Okay, then it will reflect in such a way, okay, I can understand you're curious about the weather in Chennai. So when you are just reflecting your own question, we feel that it's a human, and it does play like a paranoid person and all these things. But that was more on a tricking point of view, but not a AI kind of. But at least there was an attempt used during those times. And then you had multiple other things coming on. Across the thing, like they had Elisa, which is the first chatbot 1964, and they had the neural networks first time introduced 1989. So that was a really big achievement, because that is the only reason which the entire artificial intelligence field has been expanded today. And then they had chess playing engines, or even recently, which is like 3 to 4 years ago, called AlphaZero, which has been introduced by Google. And this engine is, again, yeah, we do have chess playing engine right from 1980s, late 80s, 90s, but those engines were more of like a rule engine where you can provide the rules, and that works on the rules. But this engine AlphaZero, they have used a neural network, which is deep learning, and this is something that they haven't given it any rule engine or document. All they have given it is just the game rules, and they have made it to play with itself for 4 hours of time. So it has played just with itself for 4 hours of time, and then it was facing the best chess playing engine of that time, which is called Stockfish. And during that time, and Stockfish is considered as the most powerful engine, and no human can beat that. So that powerful it is. When I say no human, not even the world champion can beat that. It is that powerful. To just give you an idea of it, like the best human, which is the world champion, or the highest rating ever achieved is in chess is 2,860. And this chess playing engine, Stockfish, is rated at 3,200. So you can imagine no human can go anywhere near it or even beat it. So that kind of engine it is facing just after 4 hours of self-playing and self-learning. And they played both these engine played 100 games, and none of these games were won by Stockfish. So you can see that's the power of neural network deep learning. Just 4 hours of self-learning, it has crashed the world's best chess playing engine. So just because it's just a rule engine made by the humans, where we are just given the rules that affects why all these things, whereas this is based on completely deep learning, so it is easily able to crash that. So you can just Google on the YouTube with AlphaZero and all these things. So you can Turing testers and all these things. You'll get more details. I'm not getting into that on the interest of time. Moving on to the next slide, where we clearly show the difference between what we have seen in the previous slides, which is data science, machine learning, artificial intelligence, and all this. So first thing, data science is the complete universe. Whatever we are talking about data, whatever you're doing, that is right from the extraction, how the data is created, extracted, made sense, and all those formatting things, and algorithms, applying the algorithms, and finally application of it. Whereas when we talk about artificial intelligence, that comes more on the tail end of it, which is like how it has been applied. Like, for example, smart speakers is an application of AI. Chatbots is an application of AI. Voice bots in the IVS is an application of AI. Self-driving cars is an application of AI. So there are a lot of other things. Computer vision is an application of AI. So this is AI is more to do with the closer to human, or more the application part of the data science is called as the AI, whereas the machine learning layer of it, these are layers. The machine learning layer of it is more of the algorithms that we use to predict something. And the third one, which is the deepest one, is called as the deep learning layers, where it's a part of, again, machine learning, but rather than using a plain machine learning algorithms, this more uses neural network algorithms. So that's called as deep learning when you go for a neural network algorithms. Any questions over here?
No, all good.
Okay. So, okay, this is a slide I was looking for when we were talking about the 40% BA effort, 40% domain efforts, and 20%, 40% domain effort, 40% statistics, and 20% programming. So this is what I was looking for. And here you can see there are various roles across data science. But generally, when everyone talk about data science, they only mean the data scientist. But data scientist is just the tip of the iceberg. Whereas the data science roles has all the roles across: ML engineers, NLP engineers, data architect, data analyst, business analyst, BI analyst, and there are also ETL programmers, and there are multiple other things happening. So here you can see the business analyst, which is much closer to the role you have. Even a business analyst role exists in the data science, and that's very, very important. Most of the cases in a smaller organization and just a budding team, what happens is the data scientist has to also play the role of business analyst. But much more matured organizations, you would have a separate business analyst for the data science project, and the data scientist who do data scientist does just the data scientist job. And since it is pretty much new industry, there is no actual norms, unlike the software industry, where you clearly know that you would have a BA, you would have product managers, so you would have the front-end developers, you would have the back-end developers. So all these things are clear. But now, since it's budding, most of the places we could see full stack. When I say full stack, not the actual full stack meaning someone who could work on the Python R stuffs, and also has some knowledge on the back end to extract the data, and also has some BA knowledge so that they can interact directly with the business and understand their problems and formulate the hypothesis. So this is the difference here. So even with the same BA strengths, you can still get into the data science with some level of knowledge on data science, on, again, like how a BA knows. BA conceptually knows everything. BA doesn't need to exactly know how to do it. In the same way, a BA on the data scientist is also like, he should be conceptually knowing all these things, like what are all the inputs and the technicalities needed for doing something. What is the algorithm that you can fit over there? But you need not actually hands-on do it. But a data scientist needs to do it hands-on. Like, for example, let's say you are getting in front of a customer, and the customer is saying that my clients are, just like my end customers, are very unhappy with my products. And let's say that I am a consumer product, and they're saying they're unhappy with the product. So this is what the statement that they would be giving. So we would have to make a much more sense, like, okay, fine. So what are all the other factors that the customers are doing? Do you have this data? So getting those data, okay, fine. Looking at these data, maybe if you're going to go for a random forest or some kind of algorithms, it would make sense and we would be able to get the results. So again, you did not know, or you would not know how to do that algorithm, but you know what to do it. So that is the level of knowledge needed for business analyst, whereas the data scientist exactly knows what to do it and how to do it, whereas the data analyst more works on preparing the data, whereas the business intelligence, which is the BI analyst, would more work on the visualization of this. And as I said, these roles cut across each other, and one person itself play multiple roles. You got that clear? So now with this explanation.
Yes, Thiru, I got it. Just a question here. How does the pipeline work in terms of, as you said, that there would be a business person who would share the problem as a starting point, generally shared to a BA. Then what's the pipeline of the activities?
Okay, so it's pretty much similar to what it happens in the software development, but the only difference is the same person might be playing different roles over here. So like the similar one, which is I'm not touching here the sales pre-sales cycle there. So once you get
That's
the
okay.
projects, so what happens is you would have the separate product owners. So over here, yes, you would have the product owners in the same way, and under the product owners you would have teams who have different skill sets. And I say different
Correct.
skill sets like front stack, back stack, and all these stuff. So you would also have the front end developers. The front end over here would be primarily say on development of the algorithms, which is your Python R or SAS or whatever tools that you're going to use. You would have the backend
Sure.
developer who would be working on the SQL, PostgreSQL, and all these, and MongoDB, like a non-SQL things. And you would also have on the integration part of it someone who is good at APIs, so that you can build it to have it integrated with other applications. These are the development part of it. Now, talking about the
Okay.
business part of it, you would have the business analyst who would be interacting with the clients, or if it is internal projects, your stakeholders, and getting all the requirements and understanding it and making a clear BRD PDD cases there. But this
Okay.
BRD PDD cases would be more specific to data science, unlike what we are doing there. When I say more specific to data science, we'll be talking more about the data elements, like what is the total data that they would be having, and what are the different kind of insights that they are looking for, and we might have to make some wireframes to put their expectations. I know you would be doing all these things with the software engineer too, but this would
Correct.
be
Correct.
more
That's true.
specific to the data science so part of it. And as I said, for all practical reasons, not every company, every teams have a dedicated BA for this role. They would make the data scientist do this role. At times, a data scientist might not be good with it, because generally data scientists might be good with data, and more kind of introvert, and might not be good at extracting these information, interacting with the customers. But a BA is good at that. So,
Okay.
so so when data scientists, they find it is good, they will be using the data scientists themselves, if not a BA.
Okay. Fair enough. Thank you. That answers the question.
Okay. So the next one will go on to the data science job trends. So talking about the data science job trends, you can see we have this 2.7 million career opportunities estimated in data science and analytics role in 2020. And let me tell you, even after this was all predicted before the COVID scenario, and even after the COVID scenario, this numbers has just gone up. It didn't come down. And example, there are few organizations which I'm working on, which I also know. Even at this point of time, if at all, there is only one place or the one part of the organization where the recruitment is going on is data science and automation. All the other places, the recruitments are almost freeze. So it's only this situation. In this situation, these are the areas where the recruitment is going on. That is primarily because all the business and all the clients have seen what a contingency is all about. Because earlier they were talking about contingency at maybe a site level or location or country level kind of. So this is a complete contingency, and this is going to stay with us for some more time. So what they wanted is they wanted to make things more self-service kind of, and more automated, so there is less of human interaction. So that is where, like, they wanted to get into the chatbots, where the customer themselves, like for a banking website, if I have a very intelligent chatbot, I can just get into the website and ask the chatbot whatever I want, and it resolves it, rather than me gonna call them. Or maybe a voice bot, and like AR VR things, which is augmented reality and virtual reality things, which is primarily growing fast in terms of the learning, because the new norm would be online learning. So when it comes to online learning, especially for the school students, AR, VR is very, very important. That makes them feel that they're almost looking at these things in reality, and that would be easy for understanding. And all these things are an improvement. So you could very much say that, at least for data scientists and this data science as a stream, COVID is a blessing in disguise.
Okay. Thiru, can I ask a question here that you specified salary ranges here in the dollars. These are US dollars?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Do you have an idea about Indian salary range would be?
Yeah, India again, as I said, it is very, very broad. It depends on the experience of the platform and what role we are going to go into. Because a business analyst would be having a different role. Let me tell you exactly a apple to apple comparison of data scientists showing over here and average data scientist in India. That would be easily say around range between 20 to 25. And I'm talking about
Okay.
a veteran. I'm not talking about a veteran data scientist. Someone who is having a good Python hands-on skill sets, and just say what 2 or 3 years of experience in the field, because the field itself is pretty new. Someone
Mm-hmm.
who has huge experience across this, like someone has an understanding on the have also like you have also played a BA role, and you also have the data science knowledge and all these things. So they could definitely go to a level of 30.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, and again, you see these salaries. What happens? This is just to represent to get an idea of what it is. And in practically speaking, or for all practical reasons, it's all about what's that currently we are getting, and how uh, how bad the organization need us, so that can drive the numbers.
Correct. Correct. Correct.
Yeah. So with that said, going on to the Bluemix part of it. So Bluemix. So over here, then Bluemix. So Karthik, do you want to take this? Karthik?
Oh,
Karthik, can
yeah. Yeah, yeah. Hi, Thiru. Yeah, I can hear you.
yeah. Do you want to take this?
Yeah, sure, sure. I will take over from here. Hey,
Sure.
hi, Chintan. Just to brief you at a high level about the Bluemix and our specialization. So we are focused on. Can can you just go back to the previous slide?
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Yeah. Okay. So we are just focusing on data stack technologies. Our trainers are industry experts who's having a minimum of 10 plus years of experience, who having the relevant field experience of minimum five plus years experience. And we are not just training, we are not just providing the training as per the curriculum, and also we provide mentoring, so how they can succeed in the career and what are all the things they have to engage themselves to continuously learn and grow in the career. So that is on the mentoring part. And with respect to the course, whatever the number of hours, so it is approximately 45 hours is our standard course. So that we recommend for the beginners and the intermediate. So that recordings and the study materials, all those will be uploaded into the learning management system that you can access for a period of 1 year. That is for LMS part. Through, can you go back to the previous slide? The one we have a list. Yeah, fine. And apart from that, then the certification support. Let's say, see, the no vendor is providing the sole certification for data science, but there are vendors like Microsoft and other the industry giants are providing the certification with their respect to data related. So we can help you like how we can prepare on the certification part. So Chintan, if you are from the business analyst background, there are some certification which is relevant to the business analytics as well. So which will be a boost for your career upgrade. So that also we will support.
Okay.
And like the post completion support is like so this one is primarily for over in India, this job assistance. We will forward the interview wherever the openings are there. We'll just intimate them about the interview, and we'll have the webinar for every month or 2 months once on the advanced concepts in the data science field. So you will have a free access to the webinar so that you will get to know what are all the current happenings with respect to data science field. Okay, so these are all the specialization what we can say about Bluemix. And so what is the next slide is yeah, this add-on deliverables, whatever I told you in with respect to LMS. So the training videos recorded, handouts, and assignments, interview tips, all those will be uploaded in a in a document and video format in our LMS, you will have access to that for a period of 1 year. So this is the thing I can say. So we will connect later. So if you need any kind of mentoring session or anything, so that we can plan as well. So this standard model, hybrid model, and self-paced model is still under development. It is not yet launched, but when it comes to live, then we will definitely talk about that. But as of now, we can go with the this like a standard model that is instructor led, and we will provide some pre-recorded videos as well. So if you want to go through some videos prior to join the course, we will provide that videos as well. So as of now, this standard model is in live. So if you are interested, you can join anytime. So we are planning to launch a batch in the coming Friday. That is coming Friday soon or before coming Friday, I can say. So we will have a limited batch. We don't keep much crowd on that. We'll keep a minimum size. Our ideal batch size is five or maximum 7. So we will go with this batch, and so definitely it will be the boost for your career.
Karthik, sorry to interrupt here. Chintan, were you able to see the course content, the syllabus of the course?
The previous, which was the course content? I didn't get that. It was just what will be covered is that exact course content.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, sure then, sure. Karthik, can get the latest course content shared with Chintan? So, Chintan, that's one of the upselling point over there, which is not covered here, which is we are covering you in the machine learning part. We are covering you, say, over 25 algorithms, over 25 algorithms to be specific. And let me tell you, anyone at this training deliverable levels, any courses that cover this in-depth level of algorithms are something like you would have seen this IIT Bangalore or those different universities who does it for a 1-year program. And you know, we are talking about there something around 3.54 lakhs of course fees. So what we had done is we have taken we wanted to don't have to compromise with the quality of it, because it shouldn't happen that we take you something and you go out, and when you're getting into discussion primarily or maybe an interview or something, it shouldn't happen that they ask you something about some algorithms and we are like, no, I have no clue about that. So that's a primary concern. So we had almost covered pretty much the in-depth all the algorithms that are primarily used today in the market.
Okay, thank you. I'll wait for that email or anything like that, which I can go through.
Sure, we'll share you that. You can look at those things and even do some googling, like say some algorithm, like they call it extreme gradient boosting. These are something which is not even used in the industry. These is something which is just used in the Kaggle competitions, data science competitions, and it's scoring good results. So we are also covering those stuffs.
And Thiru, just for your information, like based on my interaction with the Chintan last time, so he was expecting more kind of mentoring, like a mentorship session. So I believe we can definitely include with the part of this course as well, right? So what he can do at the next step. So what all the things is required to upskill.
Yeah, sure. We can discuss on that, Karthik, on the requirements, because primarily this content is very jam packed for the Spotify as we can see how we can accommodate things.
Yeah, sure.
Thiru, can I ask a question here?
Sure, Chintan.
So I understand the course content here is more like a data science and it covers every topic. But if I'm looking at transition from a current BA to a data science areas, which role should I target and what level of understanding should I target? Because you earlier mentioned that as a BA, certain areas I just have to have overview understanding and not hands-on understanding. So how should you give me a guidance about transitioning? Like, you know, if I'm focusing on a couple of roles, certain areas I have to be very thorough, certain areas I have to be overview understanding. So what's your thoughts on that? Just from the transition angle, which roles I can target? I'm happy to put more hard work and also transition towards data scientist also. But how would you suggest a transition for a person like me?
See, it's all 100% personal choice. I can but tell you that what is needed. So if you're looking to become a data scientist or aspiring data scientist, as I told you, you have to sweat completely in the statistics, primarily the statistics part of it, getting in depth to it, and the Python programming. Plus, at least one other tools like Data Robot or any of the cloud machine learning tools like AWS SageMaker or Azure ML.
Okay.
So it's all about learning a new tool, learning the coding, which is programming language also, because not many companies, and I would say for practical reasons, 90% of the companies, apart from a programming language like Python or R to do the data science, they also have a GUI based tools, because these days your business requirement can't wait for you sit and do the entire programming and give it. All they needed, but just drag drop, because the data preparation itself might take a lot of time. So drag
Mm-hmm.
things and give it. So you have to learn cloud computing, no, not the cloud computing, a cloud machine learning kind of things like SageMaker, Data Robot, Azure ML, or IBM Watson, and these things, just the machine learning part, and Python, preferably Python. I prefer Python primarily based because, as you know, you are in a business analyst role. You know, the integration with the existing application is very, very important when we are going to develop
Mm-hmm.
new application. So
Mm-hmm.
that is
Mm-hmm.
very well the Python. Whereas with R, that is becoming big of a problem. And these days, with DevOps coming in now, even with DevOps, you're facing a lot of problem in deploying R code rather than a Python development.
Mm-hmm.
So Python hands-on, some level of statistics, not to the level of PhD, but at least to understand what the algorithm we are doing. If at all someone is asking you, as what did you do, then we should be able to explain it in statistical terms. So this is
Mm-hmm.
what is needed for a data science, and of course, any SQL, at minimum SQL knowledge. So
Mm-hmm.
it could be Postgre or all the SQLs are the same. So this
Okay.
is what is needed for data scientist being a hands-on. So if we are getting into you are trying to make it more, you are good at visualization, you are good at presentations and all these things, then you can focus on something on the BI part of it, where we would be more showing them the visualizations, but that doesn't have much of the data science part of it. And I would say that is not at a higher level of pay packages when we talk about the roles.
Okay.
So that would be the lowest, or the left side of the spectrum would be the BI roles, and the right side of the end of the spectrum would be the data science role. In between, you can fit all the roles, ranging from the data architects. Data architects is someone who is excellent in big data, Hadoop, and all these environments. So if you are
Mm-hmm.
more to do backend guy, you can go with the big data part of it. But again, we are not getting that into this
Mm-hmm.
data science. So it's all varies. But what's your total experience, just to understand?
So I have 3 years of software development and 10 years of BA experience, 13 years experience.
Okay, overall experience is 13 years, right? So
Correct.
I would suggest with the 13 years experience, for all practical reasons, neither you nor the organization would want you to go sit and code.
Correct. Okay.
So in that case, you would be more fitting into the role of a data science managers. So data science manager, you would have a team of data scientists or analysts under you who would be performing
Mm.
these tasks. So for
Okay.
that, all you would need is you would need to understand at a conceptual level, like how you would understand a business. You would need to understand data science on a conceptual levels and direct your teams
Okay.
what has to be done.
Okay. Okay. Fair enough.
But
But would they give me a managerial position right away? I would need certain years of experience, and then that managerial position might come in,
yeah,
right?
you might need some hands-on experience, but again, as I said, it's all about how you're gonna explain them on your experience and tie it up with the data science experience.
Okay.
Maybe,
Okay.
I'm pretty much sure, maybe some of the projects that you had already used, you might have already used a vast amount of data and had done some analysis, but definitely not tied it to a data science. So if we are
Mm-hmm.
good at projecting and tying it to a existing data science project kind of, and it's
Mm-hmm.
all about how we are going to talk about it, then of course, yes, you can get to this area.
Sure. Okay. Thanks. Thanks for sharing.
And you have a lot of other opportunities, Chintan. Needless to worry, you have Kaggle competitions in Altix Vidya, and there are a lot of competitions going on. So you can just have participate in any of these competitions and hackathons. Just a participation will also do. You can participate it. You will get more confidence about it as you go on, and you yourself will get more use cases that you can relate to the work that you were doing and explain.
Makes sense. There are areas to build experience. The work is not the only way to build experience.
Exactly, you're right.
Just one more question, if you don't mind.
Yeah.
As I explained you my current years of experience and everything, and obviously I'm looking at transitioning. So what is the salary range I can expect? And it's a fair expectation. I'm not saying that even if you can share a very big range, but what could be a fair expectation from my years of experience in India?
Okay, for 13 years plus experience into data science as a data science manager, it would be starting from 30, and I'm talking about someone who has a PhD statistics and they have a hardcore experience into data science would be going even above 50.
Okay. So, because I'm starting up, I might be expecting minimum in the range of 30. But if I build up my knowledge gradually, I can go 50 plus.
Yeah. And again, I'm telling you, right, this is like this field is truly speaking, it's an absolute ruckus for now. Sorry to use this word. The reason being, it's all completely new, and every other day you're getting something new invented over here, and people are using different techniques. Just to give you some example, there were articles a year back talking about one of the algorithm called LSTM, and they were saying this is the world and this is going to be the tomorrow's future, and understanding the natural language of humans. And 1 year later, there is another article, and then being there is another paper presented stating that LSTM is useless. You can't use it much better results for, and you have another algorithm called GRU. So it's not just about algorithm point of view. Even the way
It's
we
evolving.
deliver it, yeah, many everyone is exploring every project, even whatever we are doing. Though we are talking about it in this detail, every new project practically we are doing, we are facing a different difficulties, and we are altogether it's a complete different domain. Like few of the domains have not even got into data science. Of course, most of the top creamy layers of those domain have got, but most of the other business guys who are in the middle tier have still not got into. So this is all completely new for it. The organization structure and all these things are completely new. So I would say it's a complete ruckus. So still you could be in a situation where you are a data manager earning 30, and you would have a complete full stack data scientist with a PhD in statistics earning 40. Even that's possible.
Yeah. Hi, Chintan, Karthik here. Hey, I just want to understand, like, are you planning to move to India for looking for a job, or you want to stay there and continue the job? So, I just want to understand. Hello. Am I
Chintan, can
audible?
you hear us? I think we lost Chintan.
Yeah. What happened to Chintan? He lost. I
No,
think.
I can see him over here. Karthik, you're reaching him on mobile?
Once again, let me try.
Yeah.
Chintan, are you there? Okay, Dhruv. So let me connect with him later. Hmm? So so he's not there. He has some
Sure,
connection
Karthik.
issues.
Let me know if there are. Yeah,
No,
let me know if
he's
there are further questions.
no, one more guy has joined. His name's Aryan. 1 second.
Sorry.
No, one person has joined. I think he's the person rejoined with a different name, or I'm not sure. His name is Aryan showing. Hello. Hello. Who has joined?
Hello.
Hello. Yeah, someone joined in the name of Aryan. Is it the
Sorry,
Chintan?
I'm Chintan again. It's just my son's name. I think it has picked up from somewhere.
Okay, okay, got it. Yeah, you are
But he
lost
died.
somewhere. Yeah,
Yeah,
fine.
my phone died.
Yeah, Chintan, yeah, fine. Then that is fine. So we are winding up this meeting. Okay.
Sure, no problem.
So I hope all your queries are clarified.
Yeah,
And
thanks Thiru, thanks Karthik, both
yeah,
of you.
sure.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thanks.
sure.
Thanks
So
a lot.
we will connect to you about the enrollment and other steps. I will
Sure.
brief you over the
You
call.
you're planning to share me the content, right?
Yeah, sure. I will share that as well.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, bye.
Thanks,
Thanks,
everyone.
guys.
Yeah,
Bye bye.